Hello, viewers. You welcome to the FRANCA'S show. My name is Auntie Franca, the children's favorite auntie. Do you know there is a connection between childhood and adulthood? And whatever you do to a child today can affect the future positively and negatively. Do you know that? Well, this program is to create awareness to be able to optimize the child's psychological, physical, mental, and emotional well-being for a better future. Do you know that neglect is also a form of an abuse? Well, today our topic is neglect, and our guest for today is Georgina Mamletete, a mental health nurse. Mom, you are welcome to
Thank
the
you.
show.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so Mom, when we say neglect, what is it all about?
Neglect. I would say that neglect is when children's needs are not met. That is the act of omission in the care leading to potential or actual harm of a child.
Oh, okay. So the child's need. What do children have special needs
They
or
have
what?
so many needs.
Oh, really?
So many, yes.
And what are some of the needs children have?
Children have so many needs, and one I would say is physical needs. We have physical needs, which are food, shelter, clothing, even sleep.
Oh, okay.
Okay, falls under physical needs. And when these needs are not met, we say the child is neglected.
So giving your children food, giving them shelter to sleep. I mean, these are the basic needs we all know.
Yeah.
That if you have a baby, you have to give the child food and you give a child a place to sleep. And what else?
Then we have guidance.
Mm-hmm.
Guidance, when we talk of guidance, we mean teaching the child a skill.
Oh, okay.
You need to teach your child a skill to grow up with. If you don't teach your child the basic skill that he or she needs to be able to cope in life, we say we have neglected the child.
Skills such as?
Yeah. Skills such as instilling values in the child.
Okay.
Day to day, you need to build up ideas, good ideas, instill the
Okay.
value. Instilling values is like, it's not like you putting pressure on the child. It should be a gradual process.
Oh,
Something
okay.
you do daily. Along the line, the child will mistakenly go wayward or will go off. But you still need to bring the child back and then make sure you instill the values so that the child will not blame you in future.
Oh,
Because
okay.
if that is not done, then we say that child is neglected.
Oh, okay.
Because it's a need. It's one of the basic needs of a child.
Mhm.
Every child.
What else?
Then we can say independence.
Mm-hmm.
When we talk of independence, we mean balancing.
Mm-hmm.
You balance your protection of the child plus exploring or
Okay.
end exploring. When we say exploring, we mean that the child day to day learns new things. So let's say, for instance, you buy a mobile phone, a new mobile phone. The child sees it and the child wants to know what is in that phone. That you can even call someone and talk to the person on the phone, and the person can hear your voice. Meanwhile, the person is not around. Mind you, children are very curious.
Okay.
And so as they see you with a new thing in the house, they want to know what is inside that thing. And so they will go with it. They'll go and take it. They'll go and fidget it. Sometimes they will even end up spoiling it.
Not sometimes. They always end up spoiling
Yes.
it.
They will end up spoiling it.
Mhm.
Not just because they are intentionally spoiling, but they want to know what is inside. And by
Okay.
so doing, sometimes if you leave them to explore, you end up knowing the child's future, what the child wants to be in future, or what the child will
Hold
be in
it.
future.
Leave them to explore.
Explore.
So, example, me, my mobile phone, my child should come and take it and spoil it for me, and that one is an
No,
exploring.
if you bring a mobile phone home and you realize that your child is interested in that phone, why don't you buy something similar to the phone? Like we have toy phones.
Okay.
So you can buy it and give to the child. The child might want to open up that thing and see what is inside. So you can buy
okay.
a less expensive one or even a toy one for the child to explore, to open up. Sometimes we even buy dummies and stuff, chobi, we call it chobi and stuff, into the house, and within 2 hours the child spoils it. It's not like they are intentionally doing it, but they want to know what is inside. I'm a human being. This thing looks exactly like me, but this thing cannot talk. This is what is making it not to talk, not to walk like I do.
Oh, so that is
So
what
they
the
want
children
to-
think.
Yeah, so sometimes they want to know why certain things are the way they are. And that is exploration. And we need to allow them to a certain point, a certain freedom for them to explore and know more in life, or more of the things around them.
And what else?
Then we have responsibilities. When we say responsibility, you want to assign appropriate choices, household choices for the children.
From what age?
let's say from age 1.
Eh? Age 1, you assign
Yes.
responsibility.
Yes, you start from there. Because
Okay.
from age 1, a child is supposed to start learning.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say I have this dress is for me. My child,
Okay.
I have a 1-year-old child who
Mhm.
knows this dress is for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I go out and another person picks this dress, my child should be able to fight back or cry that he needs the dress back because it belongs to the mommy.
Okay.
So it's a way of being responsible. So you leave the
Alright.
child to learn. You need to assign appropriate job. Fifi, go and bring this thing to me, and they will
Okay.
go and bring it. But you don't assign choices or household choices that is higher than the child, things that the child cannot do. So things that they cannot do, you do it together with them. While you are washing utensils, okay, rinse them for me. You wash them clean, then they rinse. Or you wash and rinse, pack them, put them in this thing. So you do it together with them. Those that they can do, like sweeping the hall, you remove everything and then just teaching them how to learn. So you leave them, you guide them, you assign the responsibilities according to their ages,
Their
and they
age.
grow with it.
Oh, nice. And what else? We are learning more.
Then we have security.
Okay.
When the security is like you consistently and appropriately setting boundaries for your children.
Boundaries.
Yes.
Such as?
Boundaries such as this thing is harmful, don't go there.
Okay.
Like I have cylinder in the house.
Mm-hmm.
My child would want to, it happens in my house always. My child will want to go and pull that pipe,
Mm-hmm.
the pipe that connects to the cylinder.
Oh.
He will always touch it. But he's just 1 year. So that 1 year, I can't tell the child this is harmful or it will harm you.
He won't
But
even understand.
Yes, but he goes there, you pull him. He goes there, you pull. As time goes on, he will be learning that this thing, anytime I go there, my mom says I should come back. Anytime I touch him, mom says I should remove my hand. It means that the child is learning. And gradually by age 2, 3, 4, the child will know that that thing is harmful.
Okay.
So if you leave your child always going there to a dangerous grounds, dangerous boundary, places that the child is not supposed to go, and you leave the child to always go there, it means you have neglected the child, and the child will, one day that same thing will harm the child. And if that thing is not corrected, if you don't set boundaries for the children and they are harmed or they get hurt in a way, in future they tend to blame you. And even sometimes along the line before 18 years, they rebel because you didn't tell me in the first place that this thing I shouldn't touch it. But if you had told the child from the scratch, the child will know that will grow to know that that thing is not supposed to be touched. If you don't tell me and I have been touching it until I'm around 10, 11 years, and you are now like screaming at me, then I'll rebel. I have been touching this thing always, so why now?
Why
are you angry
now?
at me? Yes.
Okay.
So this thing, the security, we have to build boundaries. And we build the boundaries together with the kids. We don't just build it. We don't just sit down and set rules that this thing, you don't touch it. This place, you don't go there. This door, you don't open. We sit down and tell, this thing is dangerous. So what do you think we should do?
So you explain the reason
Why
the person shouldn't touch that thing.
Yes.
Explain the reason the person shouldn't go there.
There.
You shouldn't, when we were kids, our parents just don't go there. They won't give us
No.
the reason. When you ask them, mommy says, I say don't go there.
Yes.
And that is it.
Go and bath. When you are bathing, you are not supposed to talk. You are not supposed to sing. Why is it that when you are bathing, we don't talk or we don't sing?
talk
They
when
don't
you are
talk.
bathing.
When you are
That's
eating, you don't talk. Just that. But we fail to explain the fact that if you are eating and you talk at the same time, the brain becomes confused and you'll be choked with the food.
Oh, okay.
And so
we should give them
yes,
proper
when you are
explanation.
eating, the moment the food is in your mouth, the brain sends signals.
Oh, okay.
Once the message is sent to the brain, the airway is closed. And then you are able to swallow the food. And so if the airway is open, you are talking, the airway opens. At the same time, you are swallowing. And that is where the food, any food particle or oil or anything can enter the airway and you'll be choked and you find yourself coughing. But we fail to explain all these petty things to the kids. And by the time you realize, they have rebelled because they have been talking whilst eating since childhood. Now that they are around 9, 10 years, you are not telling me I shouldn't talk whilst eating. Meanwhile, you have not even explained why I shouldn't talk.
Oh.
Okay, so these are some of the things. So security
Okay.
is also one of the
That is security. When you
needs
talk about
of the child.
security, is about creating boundaries with the
Boundaries.
children. You don't have
Yes.
to form your own boundary and insist the
No.
children obey.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And then
And
you
what
explain
next?
things. Then we have stimulation,
Mm-hmm.
that engaging them, then praising them and allowing them to play. So you
Okay.
engage them in every activity you are doing. If you want them to do, like say you are washing, every day you do the washing yourself. Every day you do the cooking yourself. If you want them to participate in that thing in future, then you need to start with them. Whilst cooking, Kojo, please fetch me a cup of water. Please bring me the pepper from the fridge. Please bring me
Okay.
this thing from the freezer. So I engage in them. So that in the future, it shouldn't be like the child is always sitting somewhere, you prepare the food and you invite them to come and eat. And now,
You know, sometimes when you're hurry, when you are in so much, you are in a hurry, and then you bring these kids to the kitchen, they come and cause more harm, and they delay you more. So
yes,
sometimes you
so you don't
prefer.
bring all of them. The responsible ones, those who are of age and you can
Okay,
send
okay,
them.
okay.
And not when you are in a hurry, but once a
Oh.
while, like Saturdays, Sundays, weekends, you are at home, you are washing. If you wash your socks,
Okay.
they might not wash it
Well,
clean,
yes.
but at least they will do something. It's a way of teaching them.
All
You
right.
guide them, and when they finish, you top up. You clean
Okay.
it.
So
well.
next one.
Then we move on to approval. That is
Okay.
understanding and then acceptance. You really have to understand the kids. If the child comes home with a problem, sometimes they come back from school and they want to tell you something, but you are like, you are tired. Please, you are
Tired
disturbing
and
me.
busy.
Have you done your homework? Go and do your homework and stop asking me questions.
They ask a lot of questions.
Yes,
That
meanwhile, you are
sometimes.
supposed to listen to them.
Oh,
I always
okay.
say that these things get the children weary in bed. It puts a lot of stress on them, especially the little one between 2 and 5 years.
Okay.
They start weary in bed because they started school not long ago.
Okay.
They have always been with you in the house. Now that they have started school, the stress in the school, when they come home, you need to allay their fears. You need to psych them. Tell
Okay.
them that, ask them, what did you study in school? The child will say, Mommy, we learned A, B, C, D. And then what happened? What did you eat? We ate rice. So what happened? Hey, Mommy, Abigail beat me today. I said, really? What did you do? Mommy, I didn't do anything. Even if he or she did something, I didn't do anything. You don't worry. Tomorrow, if Abigail beat you, come and tell me. The child already knows that if anything happens in school, I'll go and tell my mommy. So the next day when you are sending the child to school, they're just working happily.
She have
to
some
the school.
confidence in
Yes.
her or him.
But the next day, if you don't ask the child to allay their fears or psych them, the next day when you are dragging them to school, they'll be crying.
Oh.
What do you want? Haven't I bought you calipo? Haven't I given you, are you hungry? Haven't I given you money? But you forgot that they also have stress. Things bother them. Even between you and your husband, when you are fighting in the house, when you have what do you call it? Misunderstandings in the house, the children tend to face or are affected by that thing more than you, the mother or the father. Because when you come home, you frown your face. Daddy is also reserved somewhere. They don't know, they don't see the smiles you usually give them. So they don't know which one, should I go to mommy or daddy? And you realize that within that week or those few days, the children are reserved. They're always isolated. The little ones will worry. And you will see that is a way of proving that there is something going on between you and dad.
Wow.
And that is why you are supposed to fight indoors, not when they are around.
Fight indoors. So you are supposed to fight indoors, not when the
Yes,
kids are around.
when they are asleep, then you can do your, okay. Then we have the last thing called affection.
Affection.
Last need. Affection is where you cuddle, where you kiss your child, where you touch them, where you hold them, where you have patience with them. Sometimes they wake up in the morning. When you wake a child up to go and bath, you realize that they were in a sleep. We have sleep hygiene, where we can explain to you the time you are supposed to wake a person up when the person is sleeping.
Okay.
They are supposed to have 8 to 10 hours sleep.
Yes.
And the sleep has steps, or let's say stages. When they enter into a deeper stage, where they are sleeping and dreaming and they are not anywhere around
Enjoying
you,
their
and you
sleep.
wake them up, suddenly they might not be able to like act as if they were playing somewhere you called them, because they have to come back to their normals before they can. But you are in a hurry, so hurry up and go and bath. Look at what you are doing. Look at the way you are walking. You'll be shouting, and you need to have patience with them. The way you wake up and you see, you look at your time and you are like, oh, I'm late, and you get up, and it's not the same with the kids. So we need to
Oh.
have patience with them. We need to kiss them. We need to touch our children or hold our children every day. Even
Oh.
if you don't have anything, just holding their hands from the room to where your car is parked. Just hold their hand and direct them. As if they
Oh.
can't walk, but they can walk. But
Oh,
it's a way
okay.
of showing them love. Then you sit them in the car. When they get down and they are entering their school, their premises, just touch them, hold them, hug
Oh,
them,
okay. Hug
give them a
them.
peg. Let them know you care, you love them. And that's all.
That's
If these things are denied of a child, then we say we are neglecting the child.
wow. Hug the baby, kiss the baby, hold their hands, and if you don't do this, it is a form of neglect. Wow. What are the causes of neglect, madam? You know, these days, I can say one, busy schedules at work because you're already late. Now that you are late, you are going to stand somewhere to kiss your child. Eish.
But when they come home, you can do
You
it.
can do it. Okay, so if you don't have time
Even
to do
before
it in
they
the
sleep.
morning, please make sure you do it when they come back from school. Okay.
Before they go to bed. You can do
Okay. And then.
that. The causes of neglect is poverty. One,
Mhm.
we say that most parents doesn't have the need or the means to care for these kids. When you talk of the physical aspect,
Oh,
the
okay.
physical needs of a child, you need to provide them with clothing, you need to buy food for them, you need to shelter them, you need to give them so many things to make them happy. We are all not equal. Some people may have it in abundance, but others who don't have. And we say that these needs of children we are talking about, it cuts across.
Mhm.
If you go to America, the needs of children in America is the same as the needs of children in Ghana.
Mhm.
So they are of no difference. We do the same thing. They need food. American children need food. They need shelter. They need all the caring and love. We also need it here. But the way to meet these needs, the ability to meet all these needs of these children
Mhm.
differ from one family to the other.
Oh, okay.
So one family will be able to provide all the things,
Mhm.
but me, I cannot provide it because maybe I come from, especially the low income countries.
Mhm.
We don't have the means to cater for the children. And so most of the time, people will see your child as neglected, but it might not be your fault. You don't have the means. The school is going for an excursion. We are paying this amount. I don't have it. So my son will not go. Sometimes we even say that out of anger. Maybe there be excursion, but it's good for your child to go and also learn something.
Okay, so if you don't have it, the way you tell your child also
It's,
matters.
yes.
Because we are all not the same. You
No,
might not even
you
have
might
the
not.
money at that moment,
Yes.
but then find a better way of explaining to your
the
child that, you know, I don't have it. I will take you to the mall next week.
Yeah.
They are going, where are they having the excursion? Every don't worry,
I'll
we'll
take
go
you
there
there,
next week.
yeah.
Let them go. I'll give you proper one. So make that child feel special, and that child will not feel neglected in future. Okay. And what again?
I was saying that mental illness
Mm-hmm.
is also neglect.
Oh,
Sometimes you
okay.
go to the mental hospital, a psychiatric hospital, for instance. There were some people, some parents there who have delivered and left their babies at home.
Oh, okay. That
Not
one.
because they intentionally left the children, but if
Mm.
their children should be given to them, they will kill the babies
Yes.
because they have postpartum depression.
Oh, okay.
And that one, sometimes you meet a child, somebody will say, I found a baby on this refuse dump, or even in a toilet or along the road. This woman is very wicked though. Which woman would just bear a baby in the womb for 9 months, then after delivery you go and dump the baby's son? If you didn't want the baby, why didn't you abort it? But maybe the person, you don't know what happened upstairs. The person might have gotten a mental problem within that moment and might have left the baby there. So in the near future, even if the person recovers, after the person has recovered from the mental problem, might be looking for the child, because when the person was pregnant, she knew she was pregnant, but where is my baby? And the baby will know where to be found, because maybe she dumped the baby somewhere and she didn't know she even did that. The baby is lost, somebody has taken the baby. So we're saying the mental illness is also a contributing factor of neglect. Some parents are not intentionally neglecting their children, just that they have mental problem. They are not well. The part of the brain that should tell them that take care of this child, give this child this money, or buy this dress for the child, or even wash their things for them, is not working. The brain is not telling them. So they will tend to forgo all these things, and you might think that the person is intentionally neglecting the children, but it's not that. So mental problem and the poverty. Then again, some parents were themselves neglected from childhood, and so they see it as a normal
thing. You know, when you were kids, you know what my mother did to me.
Yeah.
You cry, you are lucky. That's what
I
they'll
have
tell
said
you.
it before.
Hey, you are lucky. You are fortunate to have all these things. I never had what you had. So enjoy what you have, and you are complaining.
I have been telling my son one time he was just giving birth. He made a whole lot of lists that I should go and buy the things for him. And I said, reduce them. He said, now when soon to me. And I said, hey, me, my time, I didn't get what you got. In school, in SHS, I had to pay a colleague's school fees through a Form 1, Form 2, Form 3. Because the parents said when they were of his age, they were working, weeding to get money to pay for their fees. So he's of age.
So it's a normal thing for
it becomes
parents.
normal for some parents. That I also went through the same thing. Even me, I was not at your age. I was lesser than you. I was younger than you when I started taking care of myself. So why don't you?
It's normal.
So it's normal for them.
So this brings us to our next question: the effect of neglect. Because this is one of the effects of neglect.
Yes.
Because I was neglected, it's a normal thing. So give us: is there any effects of neglect?
Yes.
More, give us more, so that the viewers watching will know the effect of neglect, and if they are doing that to their children, they will know how to go about it. So give us more.
Effect of neglect from childhood. Let's come to the children before we move to adulthood.
No, we are talking about children. So definitely, if the children get it right, when they grow, they will get it right up there.
So depression is number one. The children become depressed.
Children too?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Because they keep thinking about the fact that, I go to school. Some of them even doesn't have that chance to go to school.
Okay.
And educational neglect is also there.
Okay.
If you don't enroll your child in school or don't take care of the school needs, it's also a form of neglect. So I'm sitting in the house. I have not been enrolled in a school. My colleagues are going to school. I wake up in the morning and every child in the house is preparing for school and I'm in the house. I end up thinking about this issue for a long time. Gradually, beginning, I start isolating myself. Okay. When children are playing and saying 1 + 1 is 2, 3 + 3 is 6 and stuff, because I have no idea, I don't go closer to them. I'll be sitting somewhere, because when it comes to classroom things, they will laugh at me. The children will even tease me. You don't know 1 + 1. There's a child in my house. The will say, you, what is 1 + 1? Even the school, she attends a better school. So others, Mumu school crying, school crying,
okay.
Do those sort of things. As they play, they tend teasing each other. So you realize that the child becomes isolated. They're always sitting somewhere quietly. I won't even go closer to them for them to tease me the first thing. And out of that, they become depressed in a way. Then again, this neglect makes them explore. They initiate sex. Some of them, the moment somebody calls them, a man calls them, come for this thing because I don't have it. The man will prefer sleeping with me, and I don't mind. If only I will get what I want. They give in.
From a young stage.
They give in. I met one girl, 13-year-old girl who had a baby at A-Lang here. When I met the girl, I thought she was coming for weighing. So when I got there and I was giving health talk, I thought, they were about to inject the child. When the girl did this, she was afraid. I said, now you are afraid, and who sent you to bring this child to the way? Then the nurse said, oh yeah, mother, how old are you? And they said 13 years. I was shocked. So 13 years, look at her. She's even afraid of the injection that is being given to the child.
Baby,
so these things,
baby with baby.
Yes, toddlers nursing toddlers. By the time you realize 13, 14, 15, at a teenager, now I am supposed to be looking for teenage mothers in the community in the central here. That is one thing I have decided to do for this quarter. So you realize that we have teenage mothers. One of them I visited and I promised bringing her things because it's pathetic. Even the dress to buy for the baby is a problem. If you go there, you see what the baby is wearing. So you realize that these children fall into temptation. They fall into the arms of these young men around in the community. And now if they don't get sexually transmitted diseases, what happens? They become pregnant and it becomes a burden in the family and the society as well. So that is one of the effects. Then we can talk about hyperactivity. When we say hyperactivity, the child along the line works in a faster manner, does things in a faster manner. Like, oh sorry, oh yeah, then ten. I have to finish it. Basa. Spoils things, and no, it's not intentionally. But whatever he does, she doesn't even think about it.
Oh, she doesn't even care.
No, whether this thing gets spoiled, because the mother doesn't care about me. Why should I even care about her things in the house? So she does things anyhow. If it comes to working, some children who are not neglected, who are well taken care of, when they are working, you see the way they work.
Oh, really?
Go to this school, the Archbishop Potters. They all work the same. They are taught how to work in the school. And so if you meet Archbishop Potter's girl, you know she's coming from that place. They are called bone shakers. You will have to shake the body.
Small.
But if this child is neglected, I don't even have a role model. I didn't go to school. I didn't see what happens when we are playing in the school, or where we have entertainment in the school and stuff. So I work anyhow. You meet them, they don't care. If they step on your toe, no sorry. Because on one case, no being pon cancer and children with you. How do I say sorry? So that is it. So that is when then we have apathy. The child doesn't have any feeling, any emotional feeling, or any I think cry. They don't have feeling at all. So the child will be sitting down, whether I have eaten or not. I don't care, because even if I ask, I won't get. They are so always sad, sitting somewhere isolated, because even if I ask you, mommy will not give me. So I won't even bother asking. I rather have to sit somewhere. I have no feeling. And when other children are playing and dancing, I don't have the feeling of joining them. I can't even sing along. I don't know. So they are always quietly sitting somewhere.
They lose themselves right from day one.
Yes. Then we have aggression.
But that is it empathy or what?
Yes.
That one, when this child is harming you, will she feel it?
No.
Hey. So if she even happens to be in your child's class and she's hurting the child, pinching that, biting the child,
these children,
very abusive. They could
come
be
to that. These children, they even engage in transactional sex. That is what I mentioned earlier. And then sexual risk taking. I would take the risk, whether the person wears condom or not. I would take the risk, because what I want, the man will give me, or the boy. Even as low as 1 CD, they will give themselves up, because it becomes part of them. And they normally grow up to have multiple sexual partners, because they started early, and then when they grow with it, if you have sex with me, I'm not satisfied. The next person wants to have sex, I will go, because I can get something. I got 20 CDs from here. In the evening, I will get 40 CDs from here. So they grow getting multiple sexual partners. Those things that the parents couldn't afford buying for them from childhood, they will get it from the men. So if I get 20 CDs from me, I'll get 40. At the end of the day, if I get 3 men, I'll get like 100 CDs, and I can buy this thing for myself, because I didn't get it from childhood. But if they got access to those things from childhood, it's no new thing to them. If I was able to get my mom's mobile phone and fidget with it, if somebody says I'll buy you a phone, why would I run and give my body to you?
Seen phone and
I have seen phone before. I have touched phone before.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that is one thing. And then we talk about aggression. Aggression most of the time has to do with the boys, because they are always aggressive. They are easily irritated. Don't come in.
Because they themselves, they're already angry.
Yes, don't come in.
Hungry and angry as well.
Don't come and annoy me.
I'll beat you right now.
Aggression, we have physical aggression and have verbal aggression. Is it that they insult you or they hit you with something?
Oh, okay.
Most of the time, the boys become aggressive when they are neglected. And there's substance misuse. They end up misusing either alcohol, abusing alcohol, or cigarettes, or any other thing they lay hands on, because
then this neglect is serious.
Yes, because they are lured by friends. If my mom doesn't care, I go out there and I meet friends playing, because the good ones, those that are not neglected, they are in school. If they should be in school at this time, it's around 11 o'clock. Every responsible parent has sent his or a child to school. The rest in the community are the neglected ones. So I meet my colleagues out there. We play. Anything they are doing, if it is drinking or smoking, I partake. And at the end of the day, if I become addicted, the society suffers. That is it. That substance abuse. Then they have low self-esteem. Children like that. they don't have the confidence. Whatever you are doing, if it has to do with singing and dancing, like going for outing, going to beaches and stuff, they are there. But when it comes to educated things, like, I don't know how to put it, things that would thing, like intellectually, they are down.
They
And so
won't say
because of that,
anything.
they won't even contribute at all to when there's a program or a discussion. I won't even contribute at all. I don't have that self-esteem. Some of them, if somebody gets or have pity on them to send them to school, they are lucky enough, and they go to school, you realize that they are grown. So I'm in class 2, and I'm with little ones. They started from nursery. I joined them in class 2. You realize that I'll be sitting in class not contributing.
No contribution.
And teacher says, are you okay? Do you understand? Everybody says yes.
Yes,
And
sir.
I also
Do
concord.
you understand? Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Motia sir. No,
Yes.
sir.
So that I also concord, even though I don't understand. But I don't even have that courage to tell the teacher, please say I don't understand. Because it's an embarrassment to me.
Oh, okay.
So they remain like that. So they have low self-esteem. When it comes to that, they have no confidence to also like do something for themselves whilst in public or within a group of people.
Okay, I think there are so many of them.
So many.
And so what can the society do to help to stop this? Can we completely stop this, or what can we do to prevent neglecting these children? What should we do as a society in general, madam?
As a society?
Parents, the caregivers,
yes,
and everyone. What
from
should we do?
Parents are supposed to allow their children to talk, to chat, have that kind of relationship, friendly relationship with them.
Okay.
When our children come home, when they go out, whether from school or wherever, and they come home, we should give them the avenue to express themselves, to ask questions. Whatever was bothering them when they went out, whatever bothered them, they should be able to be confidently asking those questions. And we should have the patience. We should explain to them. Because if you don't explain to them, if you don't tell them, if you don't allay their fears, and they go out and somebody tells them a different thing, whatever you tell them, they don't believe.
Oh, okay.
For instance, if I go out, my child goes out, my child will come and ask me, Mama, what is this thing? And I'll tell it's biscololo instead of saying it's breast. If the child goes out or goes to school and they are playing and somebody say, hey, why did you touch my breast? Is this thing called breast? And the child comes home and later you want to correct it. Whatever you say, the child will not take it. Because you didn't tell the child from home. But if you say it, at least find a way of saying it, but mention the right word. When they go out and say, the mommy couldn't mention it well. Mommy was wrong. Mommy, or is it me who didn't hear it well or something? Okay. Then I'll go and ask mommy again. Mommy, you said this thing is like that, but no, it's not like that. It's this. Then you say, oh, you know me. That's how I speak. I shortened it or something.
So you don't lie to your children.
Don't lie to them.
You tell them the truth. You communicate with them.
Yes.
Then you be touching them. And then the society also.
The society, you know, if I deliver or I give birth to a baby, my responsibility ends somewhere. Okay. If you meet my child outside, you have a responsibility also. Oh, okay. So we correct them. Wherever you meet a child, correct that child. If the child is doing something that is wrong, let the child know it is wrong. That is why we are supposed to correct them at home. So that if the same thing is repeated outside and somebody corrects them, they will not say the person is being harsh or something.
Oh, okay.
So we start the correction at home. And then the child goes out. The society, anyone who meets them, will also do the same thing. And the education continues. The values we want to instill continue. Because in Ghana, I can say that we have our values and stuff, it's almost the same. If you come to my family, we don't talk whilst eating. Go to another family, it's the same thing. So we go to a party with your child and they are eating, your child is talking, and it's something. If somebody should prompt the child that finish eating before you talk because you'll be choked with the food. The child remember that, no, mom said it. The one we are eating, we don't talk. So it's a responsibility of the whole society to make sure that these children are shaped. If I don't have money to take my ward to school and you are a neighbor and you have it, why don't you assist me, take care of my daughter or my son? Okay. If there's any basic need, my children, you see my child in a dirty clothes or a tattered clothes, and your child has more, why don't you help by giving one of your child clothing to mine, so that my child will also look nicer. So it's not one person's responsibility. Even though I brought a child into this world, you also have a part to play as a society. Because if the child becomes wayward, it affects the whole
society. Because if the child doesn't turn well and becomes an armed robber, the child can come to your house.
Yes. They'll break into your
the
house.
The child can come to your house if the child is not well taken care of and is now an armed robber. Your house is the next house that the child can come. So it is our role in this as the society to help the children. Please help them if you can. Send a child to school if you can. Sponsor somebody's child if you can. If your children dresses are many, please help somebody who doesn't have one, and that will help this child to grow well, and you will be proud of what you have done. Auntie, please, what are your last words?
I'll say that children needs are more. They are numerous, but as parents, let's try our best. Not just the physical needs. Even if your child has one dress, just make sure it is washed always. Just make sure the child looks neat always. If your child asks questions, try to get time to answer the question. Even if you don't have time, you are busy, please go and jot this question down. Or try to remind me later. I'll find the answers for you. I'm busy now. But don't shout at the child. And we say that neglect usually are more than one-off incidents. Because it continues. It's a day-to-day something parents or carers do. And then eventually it becomes a normal thing for us parents and then the children as well. So we don't
have to accept it, because that is what I know.
Yes.
So if my parents do not have time for me, I'm used to the fact that they don't have time.
They don't have time. And so it becomes normal for the mother or the caregiver and the child as well. And we don't see anything wrong with it. But the law will catch up with you, because this same neglecting action or neglect things that you are neglecting your child of can cause the child to become an armed robber. Can cause the child to get these sexually transmitted diseases by engaging in this transactional sex or having multiple sex partners. They can become antisocial in future. And antisocial personalities, when they step on your toe, they don't even mind.
Don't even look at you.
They can just shoot you right now and take what's they want from you, because I didn't get it, and if I want it, I must get it at all costs. Now that I can use my shoulders, or I can threaten somebody to take it. And once they become antisocial, nothing frightens them, not even the police.
It's true.
Pull your gun, and I also have my gun. You shoot me today, the next day I'm there. Send me to jail, the next day I'm out. And so sometimes when they are even arrested, they are going and they tell you,
I shall come back.
Yes.
When I come and this time it's dead. Parenting is a very difficult task. Don't let us take it lightly. It is not easy. So everybody is involved as soon as you have a child. Your mother, your brother, everybody should get involved. Neglect is not the best. Bring the children closer, love them, hug them, kiss them, give them what you have, and let them feel love. Thank you once again for watching this program. My name again is Auntie Franca, the children's favorite auntie. See you same time next week. Bye. Auntie, thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much. You've educated us so many ways, and God bless you. Have a great day, okay? Then bye-bye.